Everybody, welcome back to another episode of Firefighter Friday. So this is a special episode of Firefighter Friday because this is the second time that we've had Mike Peckett and his wife Stacy on, because the first time we filmed it was in a parking lot of a commercial restaurant that they were cleaning, and the water tank was overflowed in the back, and there was Highway 74 behind us, and it was just a lot of traffic. So the sound quality was no good. So if you saw that video, yes, these people should look familiar. But hopefully in this video, you'll be able to hear them. So Mike, good to see you back on the show.
You too.
Stacy, good to see you again. All right, so Peckett & Sons pressure washing.
Yes, sir.
All right, and then the fire department. So let's talk about the fire department first. How long have you been in the fire department, and where all have you worked? Because I feel that you're not from Georgia like I am.
I'm from Sylvester, Georgia. That's what I tell everybody. Watch a lot of Sopranos. Started my career up in New York on Long Island, and Long Island is basically all volunteer. Fire department. I did 21 years up there total. I started off in Baldwin Fire Department, in a great house, engine truck, great camaraderie up there, great brotherhood, had a lot of fun. Then we bought a house out a little bit further on the island, in Massapequa, joined the truck company, and both departments I was the rank of captain, and had the best times of my life up there.
How long were you there?
21 years total. I grew
21 years in New York?
Yeah.
How long were you at the fire department there?
No, 21 years in the fire department. You were in New York
21 years in the
30.
fire department, yeah.
Okay, so 21 total, and how long were you in New York before you moved here to Georgia?
I had 21 up there, and I got 8 down here now.
So you've been in the department 29 years. So
29 years.
That's awesome. Man.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
awesome.
It's a great career. You know, we were in for 9/11, and we were down there helping out, and with my paying job, because the fire department was all volunteer where I was in the heavy construction union, and we jacked the path train tunnel up. We were down there with that project for about a year and a half, working down there. So just getting everything set so they can get transit back online. So
okay, after the attack there.
Yeah.
So bringing up a good point, I've also approached you for the nonprofit attached to FireTracks. So 343 to NYC.org is basically our nonprofit that we're doing with FireTracks earnings, and percentage of every dollar that FireTracks earns is going to go to the nonprofit. And Mr. Peckett here, being from New York, and like he just said, in heavy construction, working on the tunnels and stuff after the attacks, I don't think there's a better person that could have said yes to us asking you to be on the board. And Stacy as well. You're going to help us out tremendously. So everybody down south, we really don't know a lot of stuff that happened because we weren't there. You lived through it, and now we're sending people to see the museum. And what better way for you, to share your knowledge than to be on the board. So thank you for that.
We were. The day of 9/11, my wife Stacy was pregnant with our first, and due any day. So we hitchhiked over the 59th Street Bridge, and got back to Long Island where Stacy picked us up, and I said, just go by the firehouse, let's see what's going on, And as we pull up in the front, one of the guys that was in the officers line there said, we're going to the Trade Center, and I was like, all right. I said, we're going.
You can't go.
She cursed me up and down, going. I said, well, here's a list of everybody's phone numbers that are on the rig. One of these phone numbers is going to be, the phone's going to be on, the battery's not going to be dead. And keep on calling until you get a hold of me. If we're having a kid, I'll steal a truck and come home. So
you did. So the day of, you went there to help out.
Yeah, we were down there a few hours after.
Okay.
So
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for that. And a lot of guys. It's crazy. When I was doing an interview for the podcast in Legislation, there's firefighters right now that are online, full-time firefighters that weren't even born.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It is nuts
really is.
to think about that.
These kids don't know,
Yeah, so a lot of our fire department job, a lot of the standard operating procedures and everything have been molded because of what happened in New York on 9/11. So to have guys online that weren't even alive to see it when it happened is nuts. But it's very heavy to go to the museum, and that's why we did the nonprofit the way we did, is to really send the guys that are 20 years old online right now to see the museum and to see what shaped our careers.
Right, New York in a whole, obviously there's a lot of anger up there, and they wanted something done for remembrance down at the site. So they were pushing so much to get something done down there, and thank God that the city had enough, say we're going to wait and we're going to do it right. And they made the 2 footprints of the trade center. They did a beautiful job. You couldn't ask for a better job done down there than what they did to remember all the souls that were lost that day.
Right.
So, you know.
Well, I appreciate you being there, and thanks for jumping on that rig and going to help out.
Thanks.
So, what year did y'all move here? Y'all. See,
2010.
I'm the only one that's going to say y'all this entire
We
interview.
say you guys, sorry. 2010?
Yeah, 2010. We moved down June 28th, 2010.
Yeah.
We rented an apartment. First thing we did was buy a golf cart, and a couple days later was the 4th of July, and it was the craziest thing we ever experienced down here.
It's pretty cool, the golf carts
Yeah.
around here. So a lot of people won't, they won't be around Peachtree City area, but Peachtree City has as many miles of golf cart trails as we do
150,
roads.
yeah.
And a lot of the high schoolers and everything, they just drive golf carts everywhere. So it's
cool.
a golf cart community. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So when you came here, so you were a volunteer up there. When you came here, did you know that you were going to be a full-time firefighter here?
Well,
or
when
what?
I moved here, I met Chief O'Connor right away. He's chief of the department right now. And he kind of gave me an option because New York does everything different than down here. You can go down to our academy, down to Gypstick and test out, or you can go through a recruit class. And at the time, when I first walked into the station and fill out the paperwork, I got a lot of looks of, what prison did this guy get out of? And it was cool. I talk a different language, whatever. So I said, I'll go through a recruit class. And I went through the recruit class for 6 months, and I got hired on right after that full time. So, I'm blessed to work for the city. I love everybody I work with. Trying to keep the brotherhood alive.
Right. So
Keep
you've
you
been
guys right.
So you've been at Peachtree City how long now?
8 years.
8 years,
Mhm.
and you just achieved the rank of master firefighter.
Yes,
Is that
sir.
correct?
Yep.
That's awesome. So basically, that means you can drive any apparatus, pump any fire, and you know exactly what you're doing from
Yep.
that added certification. Right?
Yep. Yeah,
Cool.
it's almost like a sergeant position per se, which is how they're going to label it. With second in charge of all the stations.
Nice.
So it's a nice little promotion.
Absolutely.
So.
Absolutely. So tell me about your pressure washing business.
So
I know all about it because we both pressure wash in the same area.
Yes, we do.
And we're both firefighters. And Peckett and I have always worked well together. So basically, the first time he called me, he had a piece of machinery that was down. I told him to borrow mine, and I think we just
That was a phone call out of the blue. Somebody knew you and said, "Hey, let me call Mike," and called you up, and you're like, "Yeah, come meet me." And I was so taken back that it was somebody I didn't even meet yet. Was like, "Yeah, come use my equipment."
Who does the same business?
Who does the same business, and we really hit it off, And
right.
and I've learned a tremendous amount from you, especially, being new in the business at the time. When I first moved here, I started working for a pressure washer part-time, and I learned somewhat of the ins and outs. And about 6 months I worked for him, and he finally had it one day. I'm selling everything. I'm done. Oh, let me buy you out, and I bought him out, and and got in touch with you. And like I said, there's a lot of stuff I didn't know that I've learned through you. And you got us hooked up with the PWRA, the Pressure Washing Resource Association, where they have a conference every year with all the new techniques and everything and the new cleaning products. And we go to that, and it really helped our business grow. And really the only reason I bought it was to teach my kids how to work and not be lazy. I want them to learn how to make $1 and save $1. And me saying that's probably bad because I get money and I spend it. Oh,
Yes, he does.
Hey, there's a bag of candy for sale. Let me buy that bag of candy. So Stacy is really the
You
one
hold
that
him down,
teaches-
huh?
Yeah,
Pretty much, or try to.
Most wives do.
yeah. And
Yeah.
Stacy basically runs our everyday, day-to-day operation. She deals with all the customers.
So family owned. So you've got Stacy in the office,
Yep.
and sometimes out in the field.
She
Because
does
I've
the
seen you out in the
field,
field.
yeah.
Yep, she does the field work.
And then you've got you out in the field, your sons. So all the videos that I took, or your sons, pulling
Yep.
the hose lines for you, and really just helping out. So
And
you're-
Leanna,
And we
and our
have,
cousin.
and your cousin, yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. So you're really teaching,
yeah.
the next generation a lot about hard work. So that's awesome.
We're trying,
Right.
Like I said, you have your boys out there with you too,
That's the best thing about pressure washing is the kids, they can't hold iPads and phones when they're pressure washing. They
That's
get wet.
Yep.
So-
And they enjoy it, because at the end of
Right.
the day they make their money and they're happy because they got the debit cards now. They're like, hey, this is great. Until it doesn't work and it's mom, put more money on the debit card,
Yeah. And then I'm guessing Stacy says something like, all right, well, the next job is Fridays.
Stocking your
See you
pack.
after school. Yeah. That's awesome. So Peckett and Sons Pressure Washing will be in FireTrack in the app, so the customer can download the app from the App Store or Google. And tell me what zip codes you service. Basically, you don't have to tell me all the zip codes, but the counties.
We're Fayette County, Clayton County. We have a big commercial property that we do for a management company out in McDonough.
Okay.
We go up in Buckhead. We got a guy that we deal with. He owns a tremendous amount of properties, and we go up to Buckhead to do his personal house, and basically anything around the surrounding area of Metro Atlanta.
So just like most, residential is a little bit more constricted than commercial. So if anybody downloads the app, they're most likely going to be a homeowner or a small business owner or a business owner, and obviously you can take care of their commercial needs. But tell me what you do for the homeowner. For just say, Susie lives in a 3,000 square foot house. What all needs to be cleaned on that house? How often, and what do you do, and what are your techniques to do it?
Yeah, we recommend at least cleaning the house once a year, especially down here with all the moisture and the mold likes to grow back. It likes to ruin the paint. But if we get called out to do an estimate on a house, we also provide an estimate for the concrete work, the curb line. We kind of do it all. This way they can decide if they want to do the concrete and the house at the same time, and they want us to come back and do the concrete or whatever. We're just putting the option there for them to really decide if they want to do it. We do a soft wash technique on all the houses, so you're not beating up on any of the property, you're not beating up on the windows like you see a lot of these pressure washing companies doing, especially when they clean the roofs. You see pressure washers up on the roof with high power pressure ripping the shingles off. Now, we don't do roof cleaning.
No.
That is all firehouse pressure
refer
wash,
everything over to Mike.
110%. But we try to make the customers comfortable as possible, and really just kind of give them the option of what they'd like to do. If we go out to do a house and I see it really doesn't need to be done, I'll let the customer know that, and they say, oh, well, then do the driveway instead, and we'll come back and do the house 6 months later. So
you just touched on something that you can find pretty prevalent in the FireTrack app that comes with being a firefighter, I think, is if a customer calls you because they think they need their house done, and you go out there and you look at the house and it doesn't need done, you tell them it doesn't need done.
right.
Yeah.
So a lot of contractors wouldn't be that upfront with their customer, and they may take advantage of that. But I can personally attest by working with Mike for years that he's just like I am. We're not going to do that.
Mm-hmm.
I can't really think of any kind of firefighter or police officer or first responder that would just take advantage of someone. It's not in our nature because we do the exact opposite when we're on duty, right?
Right.
So
like we did one driveway up in North Peachtree City, which is high end, big money, and the driveway went down on a slope and it banked up to the garage and a lawn, beautiful lawn, and there was a drain, but it was clogged up. So we have this hose that we could send up it, and I ended up cleaning the whole drain out, to get everything flowing to help us out, but I didn't charge the customer for that. I was just like, he was like, oh, you guys got that cleaned up? I'm like, yeah. Do I owe you anything? I'm like, no. Because it was making our lives easy.
That's how the business has grown. I mean,
Right.
we started it in 2012, and it's grown beyond our wildest dreams. And Michael likes the fact that it's small, and he wants to keep it small, which is why we only have the family. But it's word of mouth that really gets us the business that we've achieved so far, and it's because of Michael. I mean, it's his personality. He's genuine. It's the only way he can be.
Right.
And people like that. I mean, when you come there and say, your house really doesn't need it. Oh, well, we need it. You really don't. You're not going to see a huge difference. I'm really suggesting that you wait. We'll come back, call us out, and people respect that because they don't expect people to be so candid.
Right.
But it's things like that I think have helped you so much.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Candor.
it just
Takes
kinda,
5 years to grow a business, 5 years or in 5 minutes to destroy it.
Absolutely.
So, yeah.
Absolutely. You're never going to make anybody, you can't make everybody happy. You know that, I know that, and
But you can try your best.
that's it. That's it. You're only going to get so far.
Yeah.
But
Some things are out of our control, but pressure washing, it's pretty night and day difference. But I respect the fact that you guys, do what you do with your family, and I respect the fact that you're, honest with your customers and tell them exactly what, they can best serve their dollar spent with.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that's really cool.
Yeah, like this past March last year, I happened to break my heel, falling, but we had a good sized job we needed done, and I called up Mike, and he went out there and took care of it for us to kind of help us out. So even though we're competition in a way, we're really not, because you're like my brother, and we can work together. And
Right.
It's not like a backstabbing type of thing. We all work together. And the customers, they can use either one of us. They can get the same quality of service. 100%, and we're going to make sure the jobs are done right, which
Right.
is cool.
And that's what a lot of customers and clients within the FireTrack app will see. Just because you get 2 or 3 professionals under your zip code that you service for, or that you search for a certain service, doesn't mean we're going to compete against each other and just be, really nasty. We know each other, and it's basically whoever you feel most comfortable with. But you can't really go wrong within the FireTrack app because we're all
Absolutely.
first responders. So
There's enough for
absolutely.
and we've already got a heads up on all the other apps and all the other service provider location things out there on the internet, and it's all first responders,
Right.
and we all treat our customers correctly and each other correctly. So that's
And I know Stacy gets phone calls, at least once a week. Hey, I need an electrician. Hey, I need this. Because, we just give out numbers of all firemen that do this work. And we have a long list of guys that are all going to be on FireTrack now. And they're going to be able to go in, I need an electrician, I need this, I need that, and they're all going to be on this. So it's going to be great.
it's a good one-stop resource for our
absolutely.
clients.
Nationwide. It's going to be awesome.
Yeah.
You
And I appreciate you spreading the word.
Yeah. Hey,
Yeah.
I'm reaching out to everybody I know. So,
Exactly. And we'll see you
That's a lot
guys
of people.
on the 343 board as well. And
Absolutely. I'm honored to be on that.
yeah, absolutely. Anything else y'all want to tell our audience?
No, I think you pretty much summed up everything.
I'd say that this interview went a little bit better than the one in the
Yes.
parking lot because we don't have all the distractions and noise and everything else going on. So, once again, thank y'all for being here, Mike.
Appreciate
Stacey,
it, Mike.
Thank you
Thank
for
you
being
very
here.
much.
Thank you for tuning in to another FireTracks Firefighter Friday, and we'll see you next time. Appreciate
All
it.
right. Thank you.
Take care. The bishop's in there too. The picture the bishop took of you. That's a good picture.
Which one is your son or
The
who?
one where I'm standing against the.
And he's holding his turnout coat to the side. Bishop's in
What's
there.
wrong with this chair? This chair is awful. Ah! Going on the blooper reel.
You're gonna hurt yourself.
I gotta get another. This is terrible. I had to fix it with like a bolt. It's no good. No good. That's why you don't buy office chairs from Walmart. Okay. Look at that, man.
That's better.
Perfect height.
That's better.
All right, y'all ready?
Yes, sir.
Ready?
It's already rolling.
Oh, okay.
We're rolling.